In this video, we're going to be looking at factorising quadratic expressions and solving quadratic equations. Here's a quadratic expression. X squared plus 6x plus 8 is quadratic because I've got an x squared term, an x term and a numbers term. And I've been asked to factorise this quadratic. After we finish that, we'll solve it. So to factorise an expression is to put it into brackets. When we looked at before expanding double brackets, you'll notice they came out with quadratic expressions. So this expression here we'll need to factorise into two brackets. Now hopefully you would have noticed that the number you have here multiplied by the number you have here is the number you get at the end of your quadratic expression. So we're looking for two numbers which multiply together to make 8. Now there are only two pairs that times together to make 8, 1 times 8 and 2 times 4. Okay, we also need two numbers that add together to make 6. So they need to multiply together to make 8 and at the same time add together to make 6. So we can see that 2 and 4 are clearly going to be our answers here. Now it's always worth checking that your answer is correct. If I were to expand these double brackets, x multiplied by x makes x squared, x multiplied by 4 would make 4x, 2 multiplied by x would make 2x, so I've got 4x and 2x, which makes the 6x here, and then the 2 times the 4 there makes 8. So this factorised expression is correct. Let's have a go at part 2. Part 2 says, hence solve x squared plus 6x plus 8. This word hence means, therefore, because of what you've done previously, solve this quadratic equation. And we know it's exactly the same question. We've got exactly the same quadratic terms there. So we need to use what we did in the previous question, and we need to make that equal to 0. Because our previous expression has become equal to 0 there. So what we're trying to find a value for x which goes into this bracket which will make 0. Now we know that anything times by 0 makes 0. So let's find a number to put in for x here that when I multiply it by this bracket I'm going to make 0. So we're trying to make this bracket 0. What number for x makes this 0? Well, if I put in x is equal to minus 2, I'll have minus 2, add on 2 makes 0. 0 multiplied by this bracket therefore makes 0. It makes the equation true. And in the same way, if I think about a number which goes in here to make this bracket 0, well I know that if I put in x is equal to minus 4 plus 4 makes 0. 0 times x plus 2 makes 0, so therefore that's true. My quadratic equation, you see, has two solutions, and there's my final answer there. Let's have a go at another one. Factorise x squared minus 8x plus 12 is my first question, and then solve it is my second question. Okay, so I'm trying to find two numbers that multiply together to make 12, but they've got to add together to make minus 8. Let's write out the numbers that times together to make 12. 2 times 6, 3 times 4. Okay, well these times together to make positive 12, but none of these numbers add together to make a negative 8. So we'll need to look at some negative numbers here. Hopefully you know that minus 1 times minus 12 makes a positive 12 as well. A minus multiplied by another minus makes a positive. We know as well that minus 2 times minus 6 makes positive 12, and minus 3 times minus 4. So, two numbers that times together to make positive 12, they need to add together to make negative 8. Well, these two here, minus 2 and minus 6, minus 2 plus and minus 6 makes minus 8. So, for part 1, my bracket's going to be x minus 2, x minus 6 there. Because I've got my positive 12 and my negative 8 there. Okay, let's solve this equation. Same as the question before, I'm using my double brackets from the first part, x minus 2, x minus 6 equals 0. I need to find a value for x, which will make this bracket 0. Well, if I put in 2 here, x equals 2, 2 minus 2 is 0, 0 multiplied by this x minus 6 makes 0, therefore that's a true solution. And for this one here, if I put in x is 6, 6 minus 6 is 0. 0 times this bracket makes 0. And so there they are my two solutions for this equation.
so let's have a look at this one. So solve x plus 2x equals 12. So what do you think you do first?
Okay, well, I want x on its own, so I would put x equals 12 minus 2x.
Okay, so a lot of the time we want to get x by itself, but what we want to do first is get all of these x's together. So can you see anything we can do with this? Get all these together in one place.
Oh, okay, it's 3x, isn't it?
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
3x equals 12. Oh, and so x equals 4.
Brilliant, spot on, well done.